Welcome back to World of Warships with your slightly inebriated host, X-Brad TC. Today we have Grump Wagon in the Tier 10 U.S. destroyer, the Gearing. And, well, when you're in a Tier 10 ship, you're in a Tier 10 fight. As I always tell Grump whenever we take out the Montanas or the Gearings or what have you, at least we're the top tier. And, normally, Tier 10 fights play a little different from every other tier. There's a lot of hiding behind islands. This is a little bit more dynamic. Let's talk about the USS Gearing a little bit. She was the follow-on to the extraordinarily successful U.S. destroyer, the Fletcher class. It was basically a slightly broader in the beam Fletcher, the same basic hull, a little bit fatter, but instead of single 5-inch 38 guns, they went with three twin mount 5-inch 38 guns. And in the game, she's equipped with two quintuple 21-inch torpedo launchers. In reality, a lot of the Gearings, while they were designed with that, one of the torpedo launchers would eventually be surrendered to mount a much larger anti-aircraft battery. Generally, you would see a pair of quad 40mm guns mounted in lieu of the after 21mm or 21-inch torpedo launcher. In the game, the Gearing is not particularly fast. She's got a top speed somewhere around 34 knots. She has excellent concealment. Depending on captain skills and whatnot, I think my concealment gets down to about 5.5 kilometers, which, come on, the Samson at Tier 2 is, very comparable to that. So Grump has slipped into the cap circle, pop smoke. He's maneuvering to avoid any possible torpedo attacks. And I gotta tell you, Grump twitches. He looks around more and faster and takes in information faster than I can. And watching this, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I can't watch this and see him, how fast he looks around without just going crazy. Alright, we're already down one destroyer. Grump's going to launch some torpedoes. And he's secured the cap point, but it's a little bit hot. He's got nobody supporting him. Time to boogie out. The smoke screen's going to conceal him. And let's see if he has any joy or success here. I haven't actually seen this. I converted this to video, and I'm only now narrating it. I saw the last half of the battle. I didn't see the first half. And apparently, per Grump... Oh, got detected. That's not good. Per Grump, this is a recurring theme, is that he's going to secure that cap point, and every time he goes in there and secures it for his team, he's got to go back in and re-secure it. It gets occupied. And pardon me. And one of the things about torpedoes at Tier 10 is a lot of times they're just area denial weapons. You just kind of have to spray and pray. Now, he knows there's a destroyer out there. He can't see him because he's in a smoke screen. But he also knows, because the enemy destroyer is in a smoke screen, he can shoot freely without being detected. So finally, Grump is on the board with a whopping 3,258. Oh, he set somebody on fire and they're just going to burn a little bit. Yeah, they're still burning. Always fun to watch somebody else burn. It's always terrible to watch yourself burn. Now, you know, in a battleship, it's no big deal because you can recover burning damage. But in a destroyer, when you lose battle damage, that damage is gone. Now here's the drawback on the gearing. The gearing is a great little ship, except look at the low muzzle velocity and the incredible arcs of fire on the 5-inch 38. You have to think ahead very carefully to have any chance of scoring any hits with these shells. Maximum range is, I want to say it's 11.1 kilometers in the game now. They used to be able to stretch it out to something like an extraordinary 15 kilometers. But, you know, you just can't hit anything with these at ranges above something like 5 or 6 kilometers. Little area denial going on here. And, oop, rounds out. I suspect we're going to see that guy again. Once again, the enemy is pushing into the cap point. And what is that? Dimitri Dunskoy, pop smoke, hide. With the gearing, you're not really trying to do damage with the gunfire. What you're trying to do is set fires. There we go. Set a fire. You want to set fires and keep the enemy burning. I mean, if you manage to get a few hits and get some decent damage from the gun hits, I mean, look, a couple hundred points here, a couple hundred points there, it all adds up. But the important thing is the enemy died. But you want to set fires and have them sit there and suffer and burn for an entire minute. I mean, if you burn for a minute, your damage adds up quite a bit. Grump's maneuvering inside his smoke screen because he knows torpedoes are coming. Question is, where are they coming from? Oh, now we know. Scoot ahead a little bit. And we're good. Easily dodge the torpedoes. Let's work our way around the island. Come on. Exploit. Now, it looks like he's trying to get some gunshots in on the Missouri over there. But there is a couple of enemy cruisers over here who have a nice smoke screen, and Grump's going to launch one spread of torpedoes on one side of the island and another on the other side. You gonna launch? He's going to launch eventually. Come on, Grump. There we go. Alright, now let's set somebody on fire. Uh-oh, looks like the enemy cruisers have unfortunately collided and managed to both set themselves down to 0 speed, which makes even gunnery in a gearing quite simple. Get a couple of hits, not doing any damage. Unfortunately, counter battery fire is a real thing, but the torpedoes are going in, and there's one hit and a kill. Not bad. 46,000 damage done. Cease fire, motor on out of the way, brake detection. See what else we can do to support the team. The enemy has grabbed that capture point that he was in. He's grabbed it once, but the enemy has grabbed it again. The enemy is actually ahead. There is a, what is that, the Frederick's Gross? I can't quite tell on the review screen. This is like the perfect situation where you can just lob the shells. There's a downside to having the high arc on the shells, but the upside is You can just continue to lob shells over an island, score hits, set people on fire. Just, yep, there we go. Killed the Dmitry Donskoy. The cruiser he had hit earlier is bled out, and he also got the kill on the North Carolina. It burned to death. So double strike. Working back towards the cap point. Want to resecure the cap point because we are falling behind on points. Well, we're not behind on points, but we're not gonna gain points like we want if the enemy's holding all the cap points. A fairly even match. 3 kills, 1 double strike, 67,000 damage. Trying to maneuver just a little bit to avoid the enemy fighters because we don't want to get spotted. We know there's an enemy destroyer over here somewhere because somebody grabbed the cap point. Detected by air. Oh, there's some gunfire. And it is the enemy Utiloy. Rounds out. Grump, I am so disappointed in you. This is some terrible gunnery, even by your standards. I mean, Grump's actually better at gunnery than I am, usually. At least on the Geary. And all these rounds you're putting out, you're not hitting anything. I am sorely disappointed. I think I'm a better gunner in battleships, but Grump's Gearing, Atlanta, 5" 38 gunnery is usually better than mine. I think I at least would have gotten 1 or 2 hits on this guy. Come on, Grump. Put some damage on this guy. Oh, there we go. We hit him finally. There we go. Finally, we're getting some damage on this guy. Lead him a little more. That's 3. No, that's 4. Incoming torpedoes. Gonna dodge those like a champ. There was never any question. Grump's down to about half health. He's using his last stand commander capability here. And since he is spotted and he's in the company of another ship, he has turned on his anti-aircraft fire. He's already detected. He might as well shoot at airplanes. Just maneuver, hope he's not the target of the dive bombers. And oh, look at that. A wild midway in the middle of the map. Just a hair outside of range. Gonna close the range. Come on. There we go. We're in gun range. Start shooting. And he's recaptured the cap point, so he gets the assisted capture reward for that as well. All of this is building experience points. The enemy Yamagi battleship is stationary at the moment, very low health. Grump decides, well, let's try and set him on fire. Incredibly misses. Yamagi is starting to move forward. Yamagi is also highly irritated at being shot at by an impudent Gearing. He's going to shoot pretty soon, I'm sure. While the Yamagi's blocked by the midway, might as well shoot at the midway. Every little bit counts. Torpedoes out on the midway. Midway can't turn left, has to turn right. So second brace of torpedoes is going to go short. Rounds out on the Yamagi again. Big hit. Took a big hit from the Yamagi. But the Yamagi is run aground. Secondary battery is coming in. That's the real threat. Grump pops his smoke. That's effectively touched down the Yamagi. He has accidentally tagged Shimikaze, picked off the Yamagi, burned it to death, and helped contribute to the death of the midway. I think it's a fair bet what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-1. I think it's a fair bet. Grump's team's going to win. The only question is, will Grump win? Survive? So yeah, that's a second double strike, and Grump picked up his Kraken, and yeah, he's up to 6 kills now. 100,000 damage. And when you consider the small amount of damage that each 5-inch shell does, it is very hard to rack up 100,000 damage in a destroyer in World of Warships. Alright, gang, I hope you've enjoyed Grump's spectacularly successful battle in the gearing. 100,000 damage, 156 hits. I didn't even see how many torpedo hits. 6 kills. Top of the team. And just really an impressive battle result. Let's see how he did in his kills. 30,000 to the Donskoy, 10,000 to the Chapayev, 8,000 to the North Carolina, 3,400 to the Utiloi, 3,000 on the Shimkazi. Okay, 1,700 on the Onimagi is a bit of a tab, but all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this World of Warships video with Grump, and we will catch you next time.